and welcome to the Crescent Podcast. I'm Lucy Jessie and I am delighted that you've joined me here today. If you're new, I'm the founder of Crescent Digital Marketing and I help neurodivergent entrepreneurs grow their businesses online without essentially having to pretend to be someone they're not. A big thank you, as always, to our sponsor, Purple Frog Signs, who are based in Gillingham. They help with all stages of sign making, helping you show your business off at its best. And you can find out more at their website, purplefrogsigns.com. So, in today's episode, we're going to be talking about the devil that sits on everyone's shoulder at some point, or in my case, quite a lot, imposter syndrome. And joining me to delve into this topic is the fabulous queen of unstoppable self-belief, Claire Hill. Hello, Claire. Thank you for coming on. How are you?
Very well. Thank you for having me.
So, why don't you dive right in? Tell us a bit about you and what led you to becoming this amazing title, this queen of unstoppable self-belief.
Now, Lucy, I have to be careful when I talk this story because I just go off and it's like
That's
a full-on monologue. Because I believe that every single step we take takes us exactly where we need to be. And I've taken quite a few steps to be at this point. But yeah, I'll do the full intro. I am a self-belief and business coach. And I support you to grow your business with more joy, more ease, and more energy, and overcome that doubt to build unstoppable self-belief so that nothing can get in your way. Apart from obviously like growing humans and having pets and humans that love us and all of that stuff. But really just turning up the self-belief to full volume and turning that doubt down. And the reason I am here in doing this is that I've grown multiple businesses, and every single time I was just plagued with doubt. I was just always dreamt quite big. I never dreamt as big as I do now, because what I do really works. I'm the best advert for what I teach because I have been in doubt spirals for weeks, very highly critical of myself. I've not looked after myself because of it. Drove myself to burnout. You know, the whole story is just woven into me, who I am, but it's taken me a while and a lot of work to get here. And it all starts really, I didn't have a very good childhood. I experienced quite a lot of trauma, which impacted how I think and how I behave, which presents itself as sometimes a few ADHD symptoms, but I have this conversation quite a lot. If it is, if it isn't. But for me, I know that I am me and all of my stuff works for people with neurodiversity. That's the reason. That's why I know I'm completely inclusive of everybody. And I think my first career, I was working with homeless families and adults, supporting them.
Wow.
And worked with adults with learning disabilities as well. Did that for about 10 years, then was made redundant. So I went into teaching because I thought, I could get there. And honestly, working with adults with learning disabilities and working with homeless adults and families and being able to take them from a point where, you know, a lot of people give up on them as individuals and be able to get to a point where they can actually own their own story and transform what's going on. It was so empowering, and I could really see, especially because of my own background, I thought, God, this is such good work. Like I felt like for my own thing, thank God I read Matilda when I did. Matilda Roldo, I always talk about it because I was like, God, if she can change what, you know, really control the narrative, maybe I can. So I just worked really hard on thinking, right, if I get to school and I do that, and thankfully, you know, I had the opportunity of education, and anyway, so I got myself out of the poverty and all of that, and then went into support, then went into teaching because I thought maybe I can support people at an earlier stage so the impact is greater. And while I was there, specialised in working with the children with ADHD, ASD, all of the different things that impacted learning. So I learned a lot of good tricks because I ended up focusing teaching maths. And if you can teach like the kids that were termed as naughty, but they weren't, they were just the best. If you can teach them the last lesson on a Friday, algebra, you're winning. So
yeah, wow.
I loved it. I just loved it. And I think as a result of my own success, I was promoted and I went into the leadership team. And there I oversaw attendance and safeguarding. And so really got into this idea of what makes people who they are and the behaviors that cause that, you know, and really look at the psychology of it. I taught a bit of psychology as well. So all of those things. And so I did a master's degree in leadership of inclusion. And my first part of it was specializing in social, emotional, and mental health for children that were suffering from anxiety, depression, even at a young age. What was the cause of that for some of them as well? And then focused my last year on trauma-informed education. And then at that point, I was like, I now understand why I think the way I do, why I learn in a different way, why I have to move all of the time. And there's so much crossover with people that have ADHD and trauma affected stuff. And I was like, God, this is like, every time I talk about it, I get goosebumps because I can remember just going, whoa, this is scary. This is me. And then I did my research with, and I'd actually left it working in the education, and my business, Vivid Wire, that one before this one, had grown to the point where I could leave education. And I did my master's research in my sister's school because my sister is a head teacher. And in that, it was all about expanding the capacity for the teachers so that they could support the children that needed their support the most. Because as a teacher, your capacity, you're so overloaded with work, it's incredible. And then you are expected to have the patience and resilience to support the most vulnerable and disadvantaged children. And because the school is that is their joy. That's a lot to ask of human beings. And if they're not able to look after themselves, how is that possible? So my research was all based on supporting the teachers first and then increasing their capacity, which was the foundation of my warrior energy stuff. So all of my warrior boss method that I now teach was founded in that research. And so when I say every step takes you exactly to where you should, I know that without my life experience, having multiple careers, growing multiple businesses, because I was doing all the side hustles. This is the thing.
Yeah.
They were all in the back like, oh, it's my lunch break. I'm not getting paid for my lunch break. This is before teaching. Yeah, because teaching, you don't get a lunch break. I was like, yeah, I'm going to do this and do that for my business. But all of those things. And then choosing to study my master's degree gave me this evidence that, no, this is something that's really important. I can put it into my own life, because as business owners, it's so freaking tough to run a business. It's so tough, but we're tough too. We get to do these tough things because we are built to be tough. We're entrepreneurs. We automatically don't feel like we belong because we're not supposed to. Really, you're like, you find your tribe of the people that don't belong. You're like, oh
yeah, and then you belong there.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, you feel like that too? Oh, fantastic. And and it's just everything. And the way that I then teach, because a lot of people that I normally teach are neurodivergent or they've experienced trauma. So it's like, oh, you get it. I was like,
Yes.
every single step. So that is the long and short of it, Lucy.
Wow. So you just mentioned about your warrior energy. Tell us about that, because I love this idea of warriors to warriors.
Yes. This was all from a massive doubt spiral that I had when I left education, because I was teaching in a secondary school of like 1,200 children. There were 200 staff. I had daily meetings as part of the leadership team because I was an assistant head. So I had so much structure. I had to have my door open all the time, which is funny, actually. This is a side note. Moving into my new office, because I'm at platform 26 now.
You are now, yeah.
I've left my office door open for ages, right? Because that's what, as a teacher, when you have an office, you don't close that door.
Yeah.
Like, especially if you're leadership, you can't, because I had staff that had to come and find me. I had children knocking at the door. So it's really funny. And every time someone walks past, I stop and think, have I got a... And then I'm like, no, this is my office. No one's relying on me. Like, it's really weird. I was like, oh no, I can close the door and get on, which is really strange. But yeah. I've forgotten my point. I was at Warriors. So I'd left all of that life and gone into my little home office with no structure. I was just getting orders, and I would just make and do social media. And it was like this, everything that I'd ever been through just hit me like a tsunami of, doubt, criticism, imposter syndrome, comparisonitis, everything that you can imagine. And it was paralyzing. And I was really, really I don't think I was very well at that time. And then I just literally read a sentence, and it's sometimes one sentence is all you need to read. It was warrior to warrior, just transform from a warrior to a warrior. And I was like, that's interesting, because I've got a lot of energy right now, but it's not good energy. It's worrying. I'm worrying about sales. I'm worried about showing up. I'm worried about delivery. I'm worrying about who I am. I'm worrying about guilt of leaving because I was the breadwinner when I left. And I was just sort of like, I accidentally left education. So it was a bit like, I've just got to try, just go for it. Try not to think that there's a plan B. But, I'm a trained maths teacher. There's always a plan B. I don't like to think about it. But yeah, I just sort of like, I'm just going to try it. And then all of the guilt of that weight of making that decision and having to show up, not just for the customers, but for my family. And what do people think of me? Who does she think she is? She's changed career again. Like all of these things, I just could not cope with it. And so it was like this big ball of energy. And I know from science that energy is just transferred. It's not destroyed or taken away. It's just there. So I thought, what if I just transfer it into warrior energy? What does it mean to me to be a warrior? What if I look at how I show up and think, I don't have to carry the shame of everything that I've been through? And even though it feels vulnerable, what if everything I've been through and who I am makes me the most beautiful and strong version of who I am? And I get to be proud because I survived it all. Because every single part of how we get to where we are, no matter your story, is that you have got yourself there. So what if you just flip it? Instead of being ashamed, I can be proud. Instead of looking at the gap, I can look at the gain. What if, look at all of the failures. What if they're lessons? And I just started slowly flipping it, and just very slowly started working on myself. But the biggest thing for me with that warrior to warrior was when I started seriously journaling. And then this business blew up because people were going, how are you so happy all the time? Why have you got so much energy? How can you show up? Blah, blah, blah. And I was just going, well, this is what I do. I have a little toolkit to create my warrior energy every day. And I do it without fail. And I habit stack. Because at the time, I think my son was like probably 18 months old. So he was still a toddler. Didn't have I was like, I've gone, I have to pay for childcare, because how can I earn the same amount of money? And that was a big decision, I think, a very pivotal, important one at the beginning, because I think when you go self-employed, you think, right, cut costs. But I knew that I had to make money. How can I do that with an 18-month-old? So I thought, okay, it's an extra expense, but I'm just going to have to risk it and go for it. And this is obviously before hours come in and 3 hours and all of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I've just worked on my warrior energy, and I teach the warrior energy toolkit. So it's part of the warrior boss method. I've tweaked it a little bit now, because the first part is protecting your energy. So though you are creating your warrior energy, which is your drive, your ambition, your focus, the energy that lights you up to make you shows up and go, yeah, I've got such a good idea, I can take action today. That warrior part of you as a business owner, that needs to be topped up every day, because we are using it every day. Having this conversation, I'm using it. You interviewing me, we're using it. Going to show up, creating content, you're using it all of the time.
Yeah.
But if you don't top it up, because sometimes business is good and you're like, this is epic, I'm feeling great, I don't have to do my warrior energy, but you're still using it by being good, because this is the unfamiliar. And this is what I teach about. When things are really good, sometimes your doubt gets even louder because it's so unfamiliar. So if you haven't got the warrior energy to fuel that self-belief, it just drops down. And then all of a sudden, then the shit hits the fan. You're like, oh my God, I'm just going to give up. So it's all about that. But it's basically the stuff that lights you up. So I have like a 5, and I recommend having 5. So then you can do it like a bit of a pick and mix. One of mine is putting lipstick on. Simple. Okay. Because I just love colour. As you know, meeting me, like I'm actually quite tame today, but
you are actually. Yeah,
I've got my great big pink rug in front of me
somewhere.
Yeah, literally on the floor. So I've got so a bit of colour on my face. I listen to very specific songs, and before I had a commute, so I've obviously only moved into this office 3 months ago, I think. I was creating my own virtual commute in my head. So I would play exactly the same songs in exactly the same order to gear me into work.
Okay.
So you can habit stack that. Normally I put them on when I'm doing my son's breakfast. And he knows as well. He sort of, it tunes him and gets him ready for school. So there's that. I walk every day. I move every single day. Now, I mean, I'm quite fortunate now. I've got myself a walking treadmill. So if I can't actually leave the office, I'm on that. What else? I drink water. That's a big thing. And there might be a couple of other things. Well, I have silent drives as well. I don't have music. Silent drives, so just to connect and listen to myself. And journaling. Oh my God, I forgot the biggest one. I journal. I write every day. And that just, I'm good to go. And even though people are like, God, that takes a lot of effort. When it's a busy day, like today has been really busy. I haven't got to writing yet, but I'll probably do that later. Or as long as I've got my lipstick on and I've listened to my tunes, that's enough. For then. So that's why we have a pick and mix. So when I've got a easier day, I get it all in.
I love that. So I know this is something that you're very passionate about, and we have talked about it when we've met before, but what is your take on imposter syndrome?
It's completely normal and everyone has it.
No, do you know, it's reassuring or terrifying.
No, because I think it's just how you coin it. I think I teach imposter syndrome as part of your doubt. So doubt, it shows up in imposter syndrome, which really is in leaning into you not feeling like you're enough. Worthiness is not feeling worthy of what you want to achieve. And then you've got your fear of failure, fear of success. So doubt is sort of shows up as all of those sometimes at once. Sometimes it will be one of those or some of them. And there's different symptoms attached to each of those as well. I've got my doubt breakdown where there's 5 ways that doubt shows up. You've got distraction, procrastination. I mean, we all do that. The old stories that we hang on to that will be feeding into us to make us feel even less enough. U is for feeling unsafe. That's associated with your nervous system, which I can come back to in a minute because I've just written the part of my my new course, Supersonic, which is going to be my book. I'm just so excited about it.
We need to talk about that in a minute.
Yeah. So but that bit I've just written, and actually I understood, and obviously I teach it, but seeing it in a visual form, because I hadn't actually written it, I was like, God, this is game changing. No wonder. Once I teach this, so I'll come into that. Remind me of that in a minute. So nervous system, and then you have B, the beliefs that aren't even yours, so the ones that we absorb, and really they come to you before you're 7. And then T is about the truths that you're scared to claim. Really, it's like the big dreams you're embarrassed about. Like you're ambitious, but you don't say it because who are they going to think you are by having that? So all of that is how doubt shows up. So this is why people are like, oh, I've got an inner critic. And then I go above and beyond going, yeah, but this is why it's such a big thing. This is why mindset, though I know I'm a self-belief and business coach because I love helping people make money. Like I know that I can look at a business, streamline a few things, look at their profit loss, and what you end up working less to create more. That go, oh my God, I love it. I love it so much. But to be able to believe that that's possible, you've got to have your self-belief. You've got to have that, the mindset to believe that anything you put your mind to can happen. And people are always looking for confidence, but confidence doesn't start until you believe that you can take the action, because then when you're taking the action, confidence comes.
Yeah.
Confidence comes when you've done something a couple of times or at least once. Belief gets you to start it the first time.
Okay. Yeah.
That makes sense. Like we're all chasing after confidence, but unless you've got belief, you can't get confidence. And imposter syndrome is a sign that confidence is coming, because if you are feeling like an imposter, that means you've made a choice to try something new, to do something unfamiliar. And it always sparks. I mean, what I normally see is somebody has created a different type of content. Or, I mean, we're talking about people that maybe they're already established. So maybe they've created a piece of content that's a little bit spicy, tiny bit, like just a tikka masala, not like a full-on vindaloo, but a little bit spicy, a little bit out of the norm. And they're like, okay, who's going to react? And then because they don't have external validation immediately that that content's going to work, they start scrolling because they're there already. And then they'll find somebody on Instagram or wherever, LinkedIn, and think, oh, why am I not doing as well as them? Why am I not able to get to where they are? That unfamiliarity is what sparks the imposter syndrome. But if we reverse a little bit, I'm going to come onto the nervous system in a minute. We reverse a little bit from that. The fact that you decided you believed that that content might work is a sign of growth. Your imposter syndrome, it's like misdiagnosing the feeling. You think it's because you're not enough, but it's actually your courage going, but what if? But straight away, because it's unfamiliar, our nervous system goes, oh, it's unsafe. But that's a feeling in our bodies, that's subconscious. Yeah. Our brain has to attach a story to that feeling. You can't just have a feeling. So the first thing your brain does is go, oh, we must be not enough. So it attaches that story. But what we get to do is rewire it and go, no, but it's my courage. I'm doing something new. Of course I'm going to feel weird. It's new. Exactly the same feeling. It's the story that we attach to it.
It's amazing. I've never thought about it like that.
And then once you got your courage activated, then you get confident. So you have to feel like an imposter because it's new first before the confidence comes. So there's so many people out there going, oh, I'm never going to feel confident. Of course you're not. You're waiting for something to happen that's going to arrive once you've started doing it.
Yeah. I can totally relate to that. That's crazy.
How can you relate to it?
Well, like, even like doing this podcast.
Yes.
When I started the business coming up 2 years ago, never thought I'd be doing a podcast. I never wanted to be a guest on a podcast. I never wanted to go on the radio. And I was on the radio last week.
I saw your pitch the other day with Tom.
I know. It's crazy. And it was terrifying, but it was really good. And I felt like great afterwards. But yeah, starting the podcast, I was like, I really want to do that. And then I had oh, do you know what you're doing? Is this really a good idea? Everyone's doing podcasts. They don't need another one. And yeah, I just went for it.
That's exactly how I felt. Mine's been going for 4 years. I was talking about, I've recorded an episode this morning and it's like 333 episodes and I still go, amazing. Who's going to listen to this? I mean, people do, thank God. But it's like of course you're going to feel like that. It's completely unfamiliar. Yeah. What kind of person do you think you need to be able to try something new and not feel like you need courage? It's like we're just beating ourselves up for no reason because it keeps us small and where we need to be.
Yeah,
and our doubt, exactly, the nervous system part of it, our bodies are programmed to keep us safe. That means they are programmed to keep us in the familiar, which means even if it's joy and big dreams and success, it's not familiar. We've not done it before. Therefore, let's make you feel like shit. Let's say keep in our small little bubble because then you won't grow. But as soon as you go, oh no, growth is supposed to feel like this. I want to grow. I get to grow. I get to view this feeling as my courage being activated, not I'm not enough. It does feel like that you're not enough. Of course it does. Because you've got no other story to attach the feeling to until you rewire it.
Wow. Do you want to just jump back to your book before about that?
Well, I mean, one of my biggest dreams is writing a book and I have to say I have written a book. It's publishing a book now. And even though I teach this, Lucy, all of the doubt shows up in that, what if no one buys it? It's totally unsafe. Like I've had this dream forever. I can't remember not having this dream. And so I turned 40 last December and I was like, right, I'm going to have a book written and I'm going to get it published. I'm going to do it. And it's called the Kickstart Formula. It's written, it needs editing, but it's all about the way that I organize myself so I keep on track and how that is linked to procrastination and doubt. Because procrastination is so linked to doubt. Although people think it's a symptom of ADHD, it's in fact not a symptom of ADHD. It's the ability to focus. Procrastination is your avoidance or doing something else. So people go, oh, it's my ADHD. I'm really sorry, it's not. It's your doubt, but it's feeding your ADHD. So it's like getting to, I don't know if you've noticed this, Lucy, I really like getting to the root. So people will say something, I'm like, yeah, but what's the root of that? But what's the root of that? But what's the root of that?
Yeah.
There's always a workaround. And I think that's the teacher in me, because the most challenging children I've ever taught, and adults, disadvantaged adults and adults that have had drug addictions, severe mental health issues, lying on the street. And I'm like, we're going to sort this out. I'm like, I'm not going to give up on you. We're going to do this. So, going back to procrastination. So that book was all about my journey of not being able to focus, not being able to get clarity and some days I would just feel like I'm a floating plastic bag. Like I'm just floating around and I cannot ground myself into what's my focus today. Got no idea. So I created this and I started using it at uni, but really started leaning into it when I was an assistant head. So then when I was a business owner, I just carried on doing it. I thought everybody did it, but they don't. It's literally brain dumping. And then you highlight what you need to do in pink. And it's called traffic lighting. And it comes from health and social care, because when you've got lots of different clients and service users, which ones' needs are more important when you're supposed to be working with everybody? So you traffic light. So I was like, that will work with my to-do list. And so then I would number, and I still do. I mean, I'm looking at my notebook because I've done it today.
Yep.
Every day I number which one I'm going to do first, because my brain goes, oh, that's a lot. That's a lot on that page. I can't do any of it. What I need to do. And I have to, even though I've got Asana now, because my assistant is like, I need to actually do stuff for your business. That's what you're paying me for. So we've got Asana now, but I still have to write it down. It's like it gets in me.
It transfers better, I find, if I write things down. Typing it is fine, but I need to write it. Yeah,
absolutely. I'm all about the writing. So then I highlight them and then I order them. So say if I get distracted, say if someone does come to the door, the phone rings or a client messages, I'll go, oh, okay, what number was I on? Number 2. Not, where do I start?
And then you go through it all again. So
exactly. Yeah. So I did all of that. It's on my website, the Kickstart formula. It's just such an easy way to organise yourself and stay focused and get productive. And I wrote about, I love the Pomodoro method. Again, been using that for 20 odd years. 1% factor, which is just getting started with 2 minutes. That's just a whole theory about your brain feeling overwhelmed. Doing 2 minutes, then you'll get whatever done first. And also there's always magic in what you're avoiding, and the energy of the things we're avoiding really weigh us down, and actually doing them first will give us more energy to do the rest of the things that we need to do. So I wrote a book about that, but didn't edit it or publish it or anything like that. So nearly 10 months ago that I finished that. And then over this year, just really, I suppose, again, how that doubt shows up for me is actually saying, I'm good enough. My energy is good enough. I love being in a room with people. I know that I can make people feel so much better. I know that I can make people feel like anything is possible. That's all linked to self-belief.
Whenever I've seen you, when we've been networking or I've seen you talk, your energy is just infectious. It's amazing.
Oh, thank you. So that's good. Seeking the external validation. But I think that I was always trying to over-deliver. And that book, though it will come out at some point, because it's going to be brilliant once it's finished, it's still admitting to myself, but that you're doing that because you're trying to distract yourself from actually your superpower. Because actually, when you step into who you're really supposed to be and your superpower, that is such a scary thing, because then it's the fear of success. Because what if it all works out exactly as I want it to? How does that change how people see me? How do my relationships change with the people I love the most? All of those things. I've done all of that work. So now I was like, right, I'm nailing self-belief. I know how to teach it. I know exactly how to just transform anyone. The work that I do in my one-to-one clients, what I do in the Viva Business Club. I've got a new mastermind. I was like, this is going to be a course. Supersonic self-belief. Boom. Then I'm like, as I'm writing the course, it's the book. I'm planning the book. And I was like, my habit stacking brain is like, this is so good. I was like, I'm killing two birds with one stone. This is epic. But the fact that the book, so now basically the course is going to finish writing next week and being recorded. It's all up there for the people that have already bought it. And then I'm going to start writing the book. So next year, next October, I'm hosting the book launch party in London, and I'm going to give everyone the published book. And I've said it out loud now, so it has to happen.
Oh,
so that's
my
what's
goodness,
going to happen.
I will be there, 100%.
You get a book with your ticket. That's what I was going to do, because then you don't have to buy it. Because what you need, it's like the thing with writing a book is you don't want buyers, you want readers. Like people,
yes.
You got to actually, there's no point in writing a book if no one reads it.
Yeah.
So anyway, as you can see, my face is like, I'm going to leave this interview in energetic profit, I say.
Oh, I like that as well.
Yeah, you don't do anything unless you leave with energetic profit. Otherwise, you get drained, don't you?
Yeah, true. So, how do you find the running the business, the reality of that, as well as all like obviously the amazing work you do with your clients?
So I have hustle periods as much as anyone else. I'm in a hustle period this week. I had to work Saturday, which is the first Saturday I've worked in a long, long, long time, because I just have 4 events this week and I'm delivering and speaking at one of them, 2 of them, there's a lot, and I'm finishing the course. And in my, again, distraction mode of my doubt, decided to launch Pocket Pep Talks last week, it's just a selection of like voice notes from the people.
Oh, I saw that on your Insta. Yeah.
And I thought it's been on I've got a pin board in my home office with all these ideas and stuff. So Embody Mastermind was one of them. Supersonic was one as well, but it didn't have the name. And then I've just had like Power Pep Talks on there for probably 2 years. And I really believe that your energy just has to go and it's ready to go. And I recorded something and I thought, oh no, that's shit. I'm not publishing that. And then I got to the office. This was literally last Monday, so a week ago. Went for a walk and I was so fired up, because this is what I do for my friends and my clients. Like, I'll go walking, doing voice notes, go, do you remember who you are? I thought, this is what people need, because sometimes when your doubt is spiraling, you say I would say to my husband, oops, I feel like I just don't think I can do it. And he'll go, but you don't have to, don't worry. Or he'll go, maybe it's not for you. Or I'm like, that's not what I want to hear right now. You've not said what I need. You know, you've got this great big dream and you go, so what do you think? And they go, oh, haven't you got enough on your plate? And I'm like, that's what I wanted to hear. So I've literally created these little mini podcasts. And it's just £7. It's just an easy, like, boom. And then I got an email from someone going, I've been looking for this. Oh my God. I've had emails and messages from going, this is exactly what I needed. I needed these little boosts. So although it was a distraction from recording Supersonic, I think it's very good. Sort of like, shouldn't have done it, but I did. But yeah, so I think juggling the business, going back to your original question, I love a tangent. I think I just really love what I do. Like I said, my warrior boss method, I'm the greatest advert. I protect my energy with absolute vigor, like to the point where, you know, sometimes I have to have difficult conversations. Sometimes I say no when the old me would have said yes because I felt like I should. Protecting my values of the business, you know, saying no to money sometimes because it just don't feel right.
Yeah.
Like anything that I don't think is going to serve me energetically, I just don't do it. And that is down to, if I'm serving a client, if a client wants to work with me and I know it's not going to work, or there's something, it's not that it's off, but maybe we're just not going to get on as well as, you know, they want us to, or, you know, we hope, I'm going to say no to that, because even it's money, but it's like, it's not going to fill me up. Like, I love working so much because it is, obviously money's involved. I'm a business. People have got to pay me. But what they get, I want to deliver 10 times. So if you're paying me, for example, 100 quid, I am going to deliver £10,000, or no, 10 times, £1,000 worth of value back to you.
Yeah.
And I really deliver that 10 times back to you, or even more than that sometimes. So if it's not going to feel good to me, my energy's not going to work. It's not, I'm going to resent working with you, etc., etc. So I think the hardest part of running any business is protecting the energy and protecting your dreams around the business as well. I'm very careful to, like, if I have the one sign that I feel a little bit poorly, or I'm tired, or, you know, I'm just, something's not right, I lay down my tools. I'm like, I need to rest. And then I don't get ill. And I think as
Yeah.
business owners, we get to do that. Even though we've got to deliver for our clients, I attract people that are dreamy clients that go, oh, it's, you know, I understand. Because the first thing I'm going to say to you, if you're like, oh, I've got to do this, I'll go like, maybe you need to go and have a nap. That's the first thing, you know, rest, sleep.
Yeah.
You cannot do anything without sleep. So it's all about your energy. So I lean into that. And yeah, I'm just very, I do the things I really love.
Yeah.
So though,
And that really comes through with you as well, like just the way you talk and the way you present everything. Yeah, you can tell you love it.
Like going around making dreams come true. I feel like Disney, literally. Like that's how, it's like one of my marketing archetypes is Disney. Because I was like, oh, let's just go dreams, Cinderella, love it. Like I really think that everything that everyone needs is right inside of them. Like all the magic anyone needs is, they've got it all. You've got everything you need and more, but you just got to trust the process and believe everything is happening exactly as it should, even when the shit hits the fan, because it makes you into the person you need to become. And so when things go shit in the business, because it does, because it's a business, I go, oh, this is exciting. What's coming? I get really curious, especially if like my son gets ill, I need to take the dog to the vets or something at the same time. There's usually a leak or something going wrong with the house, or, you know, whatever. All of the things happen. And I think, I'm up leveling here, because we have to stretch. Sometimes we're dealt the shit to stretch to take the capacity for the good stuff coming in. So I get curious about it. So you won't find me feeling miserable. Sometimes obviously my energy is lower, but people are like,
You are only human.
yeah, I'm human. I'm lucky out. I'm about a 5 today. And people are like, what? Still like a 10. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm a 5. I just probably just need a matcha or a coffee or something, and I'll be all right. I feel so like bougie when I say matcha out loud. Yeah, I'm gonna have a matcha. Like I say,
I've never had it. I can't comment.
when you come here next, you've got to have one. I was so against them. They just was like, why am I going to drink grass? And then now, love it.
You converted.
I'm converted, yeah. Yeah.
So, as always, I end with this question. If you could go back in time, what advice would you give your younger self?
You're never too much for the right people.
Oh my gosh, I love that. That might be my favourite one yet. I love that. It's like, if I'm too much, go and find less. That
Yeah.
kind of. I heard someone say that, and I just like, oh, I love it.
Lady Gaga said as well, it's about too much for your dreams though as well, because it's like you shrink to one of the biggest things that I had to overcome was that the brighter I shone, the less I was loved, but it's to do with my mum and stuff. And so if I did good, then it would be worse. And so I had to like not shine and not do well,
Yeah.
but I still wanted to. It was, you know, and so that when you're a business owner, no one is going to show you off. You have to show yourself off. But I think actually, I mean, I am lucky because I do events or workshops, and then people talk about me on LinkedIn or Instagram, and I'm like, oh, I don't actually have to post anything because everyone's posting for me. This is brilliant. This is saving me time. And I think that that's really, really good. And you can get to a point. But in the beginning, like if you don't believe in yourself, who the hell is going to believe in you? If you don't think you're the best at what you do, how are you going to attract people to work with you? or buy from you. No one's going to do it. You have to be like, and if you're thinking, oh, I'm not as good, work out what it is then and do the work to make it happen. So I know I'm constantly going, right, okay, where am I there's a brilliant, did I do a podcast on this? I might have done it might not be out yet. The 11-star framework that Airbnb used in the very early
Okay.
days. I don't know if they still use it, but there's a podcast with the founder, Brian Chesky, I think. And he talks about the 11-star framework, and the podcast is Master of Scales with Reid Hoffman. I think that's his name. I'm just trying to like all these names I've forgotten. Anyway, it's really good.
Okay.
So this podcast it's all about, and it's on Audible as well. It's about this, how Airbnb were like, look, where are we? If we were going to measure ourselves, how many stars would we give ourselves? What does 1 star look like? A 1-star Airbnb experience. What does an 11-star experience look like? Let's find a sweet spot between 5 and 11 that we can aspire to do. So it makes you think like a real business that can grow and scale, but grow with integrity and foundations. What's so important about business is that you've got your foundations. Like the shard is only as tall as its foundations for a reason, because otherwise it topples over. There's so many, and you might have met some before. Like I've been in business now with this one for 6.5 years. There were people that started when I started that aren't around anymore because they grew too quickly and it was too wobbly. And that counts for your energy and who you are as well.
Yeah.
I've really gone off on the tangent because it was going back to Lady Gaga. So I'm going to go back to Lady Gaga because
Fine, I love it.
all of these dreams that we have and how bright we shine, and whatever that shine looks like to you, everybody, I teach about being your most vivid self, and that is unique to you. It's not all about animal print and bold colours. It's about who you are at your very core, the most vivid, clear, like, it's because a lot of us live in the grayscale and you want to move into the technicolor, like the old Dorothy, Wizard of Oz thing. And some of that was just admitting to myself, I have got big dreams and I'm supposed to have big dreams because they're mine. I've not gone and sought out these dreams. They've landed in my head. So they're mine. And for some people, that is so uncomfortable because you're putting a mirror up to them going, oh, well, if I can do it, what are you doing? But that's not me. Like, I'm not saying those things, but that is how people see that for themselves. And so they'll make you feel uncomfortable. They'll make you feel like you need to shrink. They'll make you feel like you're too much or too loud or whatever it is. When actually they just need to put their sunglasses on. You shine bright, just stick your glasses on. And that's what Lady Gaga said. I was like, yeah, you need to put your glasses on. So as soon as I had that line and people go, God, that's a bit much, isn't it? And I've had I've got this neon blazer and people have made comments, random strangers, God, that's a bit much, isn't it? I'm like, put some glasses on then, sunglasses. Like, why are you telling me? I've had big comments of people going, oh, your emails are too much. Get off my list then. Why are you receiving them if you don't like it?
Yeah.
I actually love it when people unsubscribe from my email list because I'm like, right, you're not for me.
That's it though. And you're never going to be for everyone.
No, exactly. You're not supposed to.
Yeah.
You are not supposed to be liked or loved by everyone. It's weird that we think that that's the case. I suppose it's what it is. It's down to us making sure we belong. But where we belong, we get to choose. And all the rest of it is just noise in my, but yeah, that's what I would say. I would be like, you're not too much. And the version of me would go, no, we're very loud. I used to be called gobshite at uni because of how loud I was. But I know it was just overcompensating because I was like, oh, I've got to be the loud one to hide everything else that's going on.
Yes.
But now I've realised, no, I'm just loud.
That's just
exactly the same as my son. He is a mini me and he just talks and he's loud. I've got this cue thing where I just grab his ear to turn his volume down because he's like, babe, you are actually like hurting my ears. But yeah, I just think, if I can celebrate him and who he is, how much more belief he'll have in what's possible for him when people aren't criticising for who he naturally is. It's so very powerful, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah. You're
amazing.
not too much.
Thank you so much for coming on. You've been an incredible guest, so thank you.
Thank you for inviting me. It's been wonderful.
And as soon as I think the first time I saw you talk, I knew I wanted to get you on
Thank you.
podcast. That was ages ago. So yeah. And thank you to Purple Frog Signs for sponsoring the podcast. Have a great weekend, everyone, and I will see you all soon. Bye for now.
Bye.